Hiya.
Hi.
Hello. We are back on the Talking Stick episode number 16. As we get situated real quick.
Did you guys miss us? I know it's been a while. We just been working. I've been trying to catch up on things, but um, I'll talk more about that in a bit. Or you want to wait? Yeah, I just been working on cardigans, more masks, and headbands. Those are available on our website. Hi, Emma.
Hi.
Hello.
Um, so those are available on our website at OITClothing, and I'm also working on some throwovers right now, and so keep an eye out on that. I'm like waiting, maybe like in a couple of days I should have those done. But yeah. So today we have Emma, and do you say your last name Koa or
Yeah, you can call me Wahinekoa if that's okay with you guys.
how is it?
Wahinekoa.
Vanihe Koa.
Wahinekoa.
Okay, I'm not gonna get that.
That's okay.
I'm sorry, but I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try again. Yeah, so today we have her as our guest. We're gonna go ahead and introduce ourselves. Emma. Oh, I'm sorry. Say your name. Say it again.
Let me type it for you, girl. Wahinekoa. So Wahine means woman, and then Koa means warrior, and that is actually my family name. So my family name that was lost throughout all of these many years of colonization, and we had to, Hawaiians had a whole time when they had to change their names to make it easier for white people to say. So now my last name, like on paper and stuff, is Koa, but my family name is actually Kawahine Koa, which means woman warrior.
Wahinekoa.
Yes.
Okay. Wahinekoa.
You got a nickname?
No. No. No.
I know.
I've been really trying to like be more conscious about like pronouncing people's names, and because I know like no, just because somebody feels uncomfortable or not sure how to pronounce it, like we're gonna change it up. No, we need to stick to that and try it. Anybody out there, like if you have trouble with somebody's name, just write it down, or maybe just slow down or ask them like, okay, can you just clear it up for me? And because we want to be respectful to those people's too, like to the name that they have, because just like you mentioned, it's your family name, so you want to bring that name out again.
Yes, exactly.
So thank you for clearing it up for me.
For the guys, just give it a nod.
Okay, so let's go ahead and start this out. It's been like a month that we've done this. Like, I've just been so busy, but thank you. I'm so excited to have you on here. So everybody, I'm Yendi. I'm Cachiquel Maya on my mom's side and Mexican on my dad's side.
Johnny Nieto from the Tule River Tribe. We are out here in hot Central California. It is going wild out, hot and dry, just like your fry bread.
And today's guest is Wahinekoa. And if you'd like to, please go ahead and introduce yourself.
Aloha nui kako o Wahinekoa ko'uinoa. My name is Wahinekoa. I am from Hawaii, born and raised my whole entire life. I am native Hawaiian. I was born and raised in the mountains of Ko'olaupoko on the island of Oʻahu. And I'm super honored to be sharing this space with you guys. So mahalo for even creating this platform for Indigenous people to connect, because really this is such a magical thing that you guys are doing.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, and this is why we wanted to do it, so we can share this platform with other Indigenous creators. No matter what they're doing, as long as they're trying to share culture or empower other Indigenous people around the world. So I had ran through your account through TikTok, and I saw your bathing suit line that you're coming out with. I was like, oh man, those are pretty cool. And then as I was watching your videos, I was like, she's really into culture, empowering women, and what's the word, like empowering like all different sizes of women too.
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh man, I like this. And then that's when I reached out to you. Like, I really like what you're doing, and I really thought you would be a good person to have on here as well.
I thought
so
it was
thank you for coming
funny
on.
that when you messaged me, you were like, yeah, I saw your account on TikTok, because when I started on TikTok, I had no idea what I was doing. Like, I was honestly, when I started TikTok, I was a middle school teacher, so I was terrified that my students would like find my account. But as I started to move towards being a full-time creator, I saw that TikTok really does have a lot of power of bringing people around the world together. Like, more so than Instagram, which I feel is more of a place-based kind of social media almost.
Yeah.
So TikTok, I thought that was so cool that you messaged me and you were like, hey, I saw your account on TikTok. Like, that's so awesome. I love it.
Yeah, it's another way to like show people what you do, who you are, and that's exactly how I found out about you, and it was so cool. My algorithms really sent me your way.
Yeah, right?
They're saying you my way.
For you.
After hours and hours of scrolling.
You have to stay updated with like the trends and like
Yeah,
the different,
Johnny.
I know.
No, you have to stay updated right here, but you have to do them. Is what you gotta do them. Okay, you can't just be watching them.
You just not just save all the sounds, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's me.
And then trying some of the trends on you.
Yeah.
Yeah, she tries the trends on me and they don't work.
They don't work.
Oh my gosh, I bet.
He's always like, what are you doing? Or why are you asking me that?
TikTok is this?
She told no, because I was on TikTok first, and then I got recognized, and then she's like, "What are you talking about?" I'm like, "This TikTok," and then this was back the year before, 2019. Yeah, and then she got on, got addicted to it, I guess, and then I'm still the same.
She's the cute one. That's why. Yeah,
I don't know about that. But yeah, she tried one about some blind guy or some deaf?
Oh yeah, it said if you were blind, how would you tell someone you want a cigarette?
And then I said, just ask him for a cigarette.
And he was just like, yeah, and I was like,
in the middle of the night. What are you talking about?
That's not the way you're supposed to do it.
And then I said, what did you say? She was all like that.
Can I get a cigarette?
I don't know.
Yeah.
That's so funny. Like, eyes closed. Can I get a cigarette? That's too funny.
Bum a cigarette.
Okay.
Jeez.
All right. Okay, so let's go ahead and just start off. Can you tell us again what tribe you're from?
Yeah, so we here in Hawaii, we do have different tribes, but a lot of that knowledge is not really uncovered, due to colonization, and we have lost a lot of our culture and a lot of our ike. Personally, I know that I do come from a family of warriors that would work out of Pololu Valley. So I really pili myself to that knowledge that I do have, that we are a family of women warriors specifically. And our lineage, we would use a lot of chanting and a lot of words in our fighting. So that's the tribe I come from, the Wahinekoa Ohana. And like here in Hawaii, it's kind of like all of the Native Hawaiians, we just all are one, one group of Hawaii, Poe Hawaii, Hawaiian people.
Cool. And what is there, does your tribe have a specific language, or is it more like everyone has, it's like, okay.
Well, okay, so like there's Hawaiian language, which is Olelo Hawaii, and then we have all different dialects of Olelo Hawaii. So like it's a lot of the times it's place based. So like the different islands have a lot of different dialects. One of our islands, Niihau especially, they are really known for their dialect where they use a lot of T's instead of K's, a lot of like silent G almost kind of sounds. Yeah, and just like island place-based dialects.
Cool. We were trying to we were looking at the map of Hawaii, and like, I'm gonna be real, I didn't know that there was like different islands of it. I thought it was
this ain't just Hawaii. This is the whole continent. Okay, she is bad.
Well,
bad
even
with directions.
I was talking to my mom this morning about this podcast, and she was like, most people have no idea. Like outside of Hawaii, most people don't even know that we used to be our own independent sovereign nation. Yeah, like people don't even know the history of like our queen being imprisoned in her own home, and like the terrible overthrow of the government of Hawaii and the occupation that has ensued since that overthrow. So I'm not surprised at all that you guys thought that we were one like landmass, I guess.
I thought it was just one island. Yeah. I didn't know that there's like 3 or 4 more.
There's actually 8 main islands, and we have actually over like 200 islands that are up further to the northwest, but most people don't go there. And like the 8 main Hawaiian islands are the ones that you really see like people going to and populating and stuff like that.
I know. I've been watching some videos about that too, how some people will go and visit that are not native from there, like tourists, and how they don't clean up after themselves or they just disturb the
You know,
island
it's
and
like
move
super
things.
hard too because a lot of the
Uh-oh.
tourists,
I've been cracking up over tourist stuff.
it's hard though. Like it's hard because people that come here to visit, they like have this romanticized picture in their head of what Hawaii is, you know, and like paradise and stuff. And meanwhile, like most of our people are homeless, addicted to drugs, they're in jail.
I
You know
saw
what I
a
mean? Like
documentary.
it's
Yeah.
like this side of paradise that the tourists don't even want to know about. And they come and they have this entitled attitude and like
Mm-hmm.
they just go to all of our spaces and places. And like my friends and I, we frequently will go to these places that tourists want to go to all the time, like waterfalls or like hot beaches and stuff. And we like almost in a way regulate and say like this is how we act in sacred places and this is how you need to conduct yourself if you want to take part in this space.
Yeah.
So it's hard. It's really hard to be a native Hawaiian. It's, you know, I always talk about this with my friends, but like sadly it's really hard to be a Hawaiian in Hawaii. Like you think that this is our space to be ourselves, right? But it's difficult, like in everything from the politicians to the schools to like even just going to the grocery store. And like when I speak Hawaiian in the
Oh,
grocery
wow.
store, like people
How's
are almost
Costco?
like shocked. You know what I
How's
mean?
Costco? You
Yeah,
got Costco?
yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy here.
Oh, wow.
I
I would
don't
have.
see like people don't even ever expect that from Hawaii.
Oh, I would have thought it would have been more like out there. Like people would be more. I don't know. I just felt like I had an idea that it was more welcome, like to speak the language, or it was more. I don't know. But yeah, I thought it was.
You have like a
Oh.
rotation of different people coming in and out, in and out. Like,
It's just constant, like,
yeah,
and
yeah.
plus a lot of our government and like economy, they love to rely on tourism, and it's so sad
Mm-hmm.
because
Oh.
you know I don't know if you guys know this, but about 95% of all of our food isn't even grown here. It's flown here on ships, and like
Mm-hmm.
at one point in our history, this one island could sustain 1 million people
Oh,
agriculturally, and like
wow.
yeah, like so to think that we've come so far from that and now we have 95% of stuff that we rely on that comes from outside is like really sad because where are we supposed to farm? There's all buildings everywhere. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Nowhere for Hawaiians to go back and connect to land, to Aina.
wow.
It is sad.
Damn, that's crazy. I didn't know that. I did see a documentary like a while back about how a lot of people are getting evicted or kicked out of their homes so they can build or what is it like gentrify? Is it? Oh, okay, that's the word. Gentrify it, and
Totally.
they have nowhere else to go. And somebody created uh, like a homeless shelter or one area specifically where everyone helps each other out. And
O.I.T. Yeah. I know
oh,
what
okay,
you're talking about. Yes.
yeah.
Um,
I had seen that, and that had opened up my eyes as well. I was like, oh, okay, like I didn't know. I didn't know that was going on, and it's pretty crazy that all that is going on. But all you can do now is just like try to like speak your language a little more, just stand up for yourself and just go to those
so
areas and clean up a little bit, or just like you said, regulate regulate them.
sometimes you gotta,
Yeah.
and like for me, like I just found out, or I just had my orientation for my daughter to go, she got accepted into a Hawaiian language medium school.
Ooh,
So for us, that was
cool.
really exciting because like to even have a place where our kids can go and just be immersed in their language. Like for me, my parents don't speak Hawaiian language and they didn't even get a lot of Hawaiian education because of the history of Hawaii. A lot
Yeah.
of like their generation was spent squashing out all of that.
Mhm.
You know,
Mhm.
they don't want Hawaiians to know that this is our history. It's totally illegal that America occupies this land. They don't want Hawaiians to know that your language was spoken by everybody, and we had one of the highest literacy rates in the world. They don't
Oh,
want people
wow.
to know that and to return to that, right? Because that they want to keep us in their white man system and to
Mhm.
keep us like speaking their language
Mhm.
and generating their dollars. And they don't want us to be farming our own stuff because they want us to pay to go to the store and buy meat and buy vegetables and stuff like that. So it's like it was a huge step in our family for me to grow up the way that I did and to speak the language from being a young child and to learn about my culture, because my dad and his family, they never got a chance to do that. And so for us to enroll my daughter in a Hawaiian language school was a really big thing for our family. And we're so excited.
Oh, I'm excited for you too.
Thank you.
It's a big
it is a big responsibility.
Yeah, but I was gonna say, like, don't feel too overwhelmed. But yeah, I would say our generations are the ones that are breaking those barriers. My aunt was telling me recently, she was like, hey, me and your mom are very happy that you're bringing the culture back and practicing it, because we didn't do it and they didn't know. I know that they weren't raised either. Like my grandma, their mom, wasn't teaching them, because again, they were forced to not speak it or practice it, like it wasn't a good thing. And so she was excited. I was like, oh man, I never saw it that way. Like, but to hear it, I was like, oh, okay, like I see. And yeah, it's true. Like, we do want to break those barriers and then teach our kids. We have 2 kids, and so we want them to learn and embrace it too. And just bring more power to that. And
totally. I give them space, and like holding space for them to be able to be their own indigenous, native, sovereign self is like so beautiful to watch them just grow into their own culture and their own language. Seriously.
So I'm excited for your daughter. That's really cool.
Thank you.
And so how did you start your business? What made you, and then also empowering, or let's say, like, why?
So I had 2 big whys. My first why, so I was in college when I started this business, and I dreamed about it for a long time. And it had come to me because I had noticed that there were quite a few Hawaiian brands that were really big, that were started by Hawaiian people, that were like blatantly cultural appropriation. And people are always really surprised when I say that, because they're like, what do you mean? They're Hawaiian. How can they be appropriating their own culture? But to me, cultural appropriation is when you're taking an image or a concept or a word or something from a culture, and you're using it in a different way than intended by our kupuna or our ancestors. So I saw a lot of like Hawaiian brands that were coming out with like things like our very prominent, important chiefs and ancestors. They were putting like blood rags over their face, or like holding A16 rifles, or just like really inappropriate stuff that hurt my heart. And that I was like, they had like millions of followers too. So they were telling the world, this is what Hawaii is. This is what our culture is. And like over sexualizing young girls and glorifying drug abuse and stuff like that. And it hurt me to think that even back in college, I was like, I don't want people to think that this is what Hawaii is. I don't want our own Hawaiians to think that this is what your culture is, because it's not. And so I had many talks with many different creators, and like, hey, that's not okay. And I'm going to stand up and say that my ancestors, my kupuna, would not be okay with that. And those talks didn't always go very well. So one day I was like, you know what? I'm gonna have to just do it myself. So I started my brand, and I also really started it because my second reason was because I literally only make things that I want to wear. So like, I'll make what I want to wear, and then I'll just make extra to sell. So it just really was born out of like this creative space of needing things for bigger girls too, that just weren't like, I found that it was really hard in Hawaiian fashion world to find things for bigger girls that fit correctly. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna do it. I'm gonna just do it myself. And once I started doing it, I saw that my community and our people wanted it so bad.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, we gotta just keep rolling with it. And yeah, it's been a crazy 2 years.
Oh, 2 years. Okay, cool. Did you want to ask something real quick?
No, that's cool. Just do it yourself.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
Always, I always struggle too with that of, just being the one to step up, because, I get that stuff of, it's not my time. I'll let someone do it. Like another generation take care of it, but they ain't stepping up. Get out of the way, because it's time for you to move. Then,
exactly.
like that, just take it. Yeah, that's good. Like that's really impressive. That's really
I've
good.
always felt too that like my role is as an educator. So because like I just like my whole life I've been so into just soaking up as much Hawaiian knowledge as I can with the intent that it's for our future generations. So like almost serving as a medium in between, you know, like a person to transfer knowledge. And so I spent a lot of my life going to school to become a teacher. And then I actually became a teacher, and I was like, this is not what I wanted. Like, this is not it. I felt censored. I felt like I couldn't speak my truth. I felt like I couldn't be my authentic, you know, like I felt like I couldn't really teach our kids the truth stuck in this system. And so I was like, there's different ways. There's other ways to educate. So I really took that fire and I pushed it into creating educational materials, creating different kinds of prints in Hawaiian language. So yeah, that was a big part.
Hey, I'm curious about the education over there because I'm a firm believer of here with our education and the system over here out in California. How's it over there? Like, what are they teaching? Is it regarding the state stuff? What are they really teaching?
Yeah, they don't. It is so frustrating because so I was very privileged to go to a private school that was made for Hawaiians. So you have to have Hawaiian to attend that school. Yeah, amazing. Like, but that school, I do have to say, it's a school for Hawaiians, but it's still heavily made to indoctrinate Hawaiian kids almost because it's like a Christian school and it yeah, so but they did have like, you know, they had plenty money, so they had lots of resources to teach us, and we had some great Hawaiian culture classes and Hawaiian history classes versus like the DOE public schools here, which are like they literally don't teach about the overthrow and they don't teach about the real history of Hawaii. If they do, it's like one sentence in a textbook. Yeah, it's absolutely
One nice sentence.
Yeah, it's like one nice America, and then America annexed Hawaii. Like it doesn't talk about stolen lands. It doesn't talk about the violent overthrow and imprisonment of our queen in her own home. It's just absolutely, it's blatant like whitewash history. Seriously, it's crazy.
For those that are listening, I don't think we shared her business. She does stickers, shirts, tote bags, and she's coming out with her new line right now of bathing suits. And so just those of you that are listening, that's what we're speaking about and that she does.
No, we're not. We're talking about Hawaii education.
I mean, that too, but but as we speak more about like business stuff, this is what we're speaking on. And you put just by looking at it, but because you have it in your language, the moons that are on there, are you just the words that are on there? Is it just like, is it like full moon and so on? As it like?
I think you're talking about the one with all the different moons. That one. So those are that's our Hawaiian lunar calendar. So in the time of our ancestors, they followed a moon calendar, not like a sun day-to-day calendar. Yeah. So we like everything from your fishing, your planting, your spiritual, your ceremonies, everything is according to our Hawaiian lunar calendar. So my big push with why I'm called Moon Kind Things is to get our people to return to that that center and to return to our traditional ways, like you guys say, our what is it,
our indigenous traditions.
Yes, exactly. That's why I was so excited too when you contacted me, because
do you have those back there, those swimsuits?
I have a few. Let me
check them out. I want to see what you're talking about.
Yes.
If you have.
So these are the bottoms.
Well,
this print is a camel print with different mo'o, which are lizards.
Cool.
Yeah, the mo'o have like a great place in our mo'olelo, our stories.
Your hands.
Yeah,
a lot of creation stories on your hands with the lizards.
They serve as guardians of our waterways, and water, as everybody knows, is life, right? So they just really serve as, so we have the light one, and then we have this dark camouflage, and then we also have the baby mo'os, the baby lilies. Yeah, so my great friend Kehau Noeau, she designed this print for me. I kind of like told her, you know, this is what I've been feeling, and she was like, oh my god, I have the perfect idea, and she drafted that up for me. And then I sent my design out to get printed on fabric, and then I cut and sew everything here in my little tiny room.
In the dungeon.
Yeah.
That's how we all start.
You guys do everything out of your home too?
Yeah.
On the dungeon.
I do it.
The dungeon.
Lock me in there. Nah.
I know I was watching that one video that you posted about fixing your sewing machine last night, and I was like, dude, nobody knows the drama that comes with sewing. It is so like, oh my god. And then you said your needle broke, and I was like, oh, that's the worst.
Yeah, and you know, at the end, all it was that the needle was on backwards. That's all it was from my original one. I was so mad, and I just like stepped away. I was like,
you gotta just take a break after that, girl.
That's how I knew I must have been really tired that night when I put a new needle in because I didn't have it on the right way.
Yeah.
But yeah, I called my the shop that cleans my machines. I'll say, hey, it's not working, blah blah blah, and she was like, okay, like, what's going on, or what did you do? You know, make sure this, make sure that. And then she was like, oh, you know, when you brought me your machine to clean it,
40-pound machine.
it's heavy. She was like, your needle was on backwards. Make sure you have it the right way. And I was like, oh, that's what it was. Oh my god,
okay,
yeah.
Thank you. I gotta go now. Bye.
4 years into business and still.
It happens, man. It happens.
That is so funny. I feel you. I really do, because so how I got into sewing was when I was young. My grandma was actually like a fashion and jewelry designer.
Ooh.
But by the time I came into the world, she was old and retired, and she had really bad rheumatoid arthritis in her hands. So she would just kind of play around and make things for the kids and, like, you know, for herself. And I was always with her. So I would always just watch and learn a little bit. But my good friend actually taught me how to make these reversible bikinis they're reversible.
Ooh, cool.
So she taught me how to make bikinis about a year ago, and I just had been slacking on it and, like, you know, working on it in my free time and figuring out my machine in my free time. And then one of my friends had gifted me a serger. So then I was like,
I know what that is.
Let's go.
That's a life changer.
So yeah, it's just been a journey, definitely, this bikini journey.
And this is your first bikini release?
Yes.
Oh wow.
I kind of like, I normally do like shirts and sweats and hoodies, and I was like, bride, it's like 90 degrees in Hawaii, you know? Like, I need to like get something else going.
Yeah.
Hot months. So
yeah,
I think that's what I'm gonna kind of do from now on, is during the summer months I will push bikinis, and then during the winter months I'll be pushing sweats and hoodies again.
Yeah, that's a good idea. And speaking more about the bathing suits, I saw your post and your photo shoot that you did. I love it. I'm sure they're friends or cousins that you have on there. And I love that you're pushing it for bigger women, empowering them, doing their sizes as well, and just showing real women on there. No photoshopping or editing things. Like, girl, you're beautiful, you're voluptuous, like, show it, girl. And I love it. And that's another thing why I was like, okay, like, I love her. I love your clothing line and just the women. And like I said, that's why I needed you on.
Full chicken skin right now, because I'm just like, this is what I wanted. And you know, my best friend, she is a really tiny, skinny, mini girl. So I had to make sure that I made both ends. I had to make sure I had bikinis for the tiny girls, as well as all the way through, as well as, you know, our bigger girls too, because both sides, like, need to be represented and need to be loved. And when I was thinking of this, when I was putting together the bikinis and thinking of this photo shoot and everything, like, this theme of like 7 just kept coming up to me, and like the 7 women, the 7 different sizes, the 7 generations, right? Like, just really was like a theme for me. And so I cried that whole weekend. I was like, this is my dream come true, to see all these beautiful Hawaiian women and their beautiful bodies represented, and like the messages that I got saying, like, when I was growing up, I never saw. And like, no, I was, oh my God, I seriously bawled
I know, I
the
feel you.
whole weekend.
We don't cry here.
Oh, yeah, I just was like, I was just blown away by the love and reception that my people had for that product too. And like, the messages that I received from people and the comments that I got, just saying like, thank you for doing this, and thank you for being real, and thank you for showing up and showing out. Like, just so beautiful.
That's awesome. That's so good.
Yeah.
And I also noticed that you have a podcast as well.
I do.
Right? Yeah. I saw that. I don't know how I came. Well, I went onto your link tree, and I was like, oh, she has a podcast too. And then I was listening to a few of them. We had a long drive the other day, so I got to listen to some of them, and good subjects that you have on there. And you did share some of the stuff on here of what you speak on, or that I heard on your podcast. But is it also under Moon Kine TIngZ?
Moon Kine TIngZ, yes.
Moon Kine TIngZ. Okay. So those of you that want to hear her podcast, go onto her Instagram page, and she has a link tree on there. She has it linked up to her podcast, to her website as well. And what were the other ones that you have listed on there, if you want to share them?
I have one more. One was for a giveaway that just finished, and then one more was for a Patreon. So I do Patreon as a way to make myself have space as a Native creator, to like not have to, because when I was a teacher, I hardly had time. Like, I was exhausted as a single mom, a full-time teacher, and then like on the weekends I was printing, and I was just exhausted. I felt like I had no energy left for my child at the end of the day. Like, you know, so I mean, in addition to, I got into a really bad car accident in January, so that kind of played into the decision of me taking some time off and like focusing on Moon Kine TIngZ. But when I really made that switch to focus full time, I was like, okay, I need a way to have some kind of stable, you know, something I can count on. Hi! Good morning! Aloha! Oh, that smile, oh my goodness. But so Patreon is basically like a subscription service, and through Patreon, I offer a class that I teach every month that, like, for people that want to know more about Hawaiian culture, I teach a class at one tier. Another tier, you receive like a shirt, a bunch of stickers, and access to like all of my behind the scenes podcasts and stuff like that. There's other tiers in which you can receive, you know, like all different kinds of tiers where you can get different benefits. So Patreon is just a way for me to feel more comfortable being a full-time creator.
Oh, nice. Okay, so you guys better make sure to check her out on there.
Thank you.
When is your bathing suit releasing?
June 12th and June 13th. I have my first pop-up market that I'm doing in like 2 years, kind. So I'm releasing it at the market, and then whatever I have left is going online. Okay. And then I also just made another huge fabric order, so I'll be just sewing my fingers off for the rest of summer.
Okay. And what sizes are they starting at?
So I made my own sizing chart, because our bodies are very different from European and US bodies. So my sizes start at 28 inches, and then they go all the way up to 58 inches. I know that's hard to imagine.
No,
Here,
but
let me show you.
Okay.
Is it hard to imagine?
No, I mean, like, is it 28 inches, meaning like width size? Width?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
She's talking like guys, like she's talking like my size, like the sizes I'm listening to, like where the guys are accustomed to.
So that's my number 1, and then this is my 7. So
is it but can I be able to describe them just as like small to like?
I would say this is like an extra small 00.
Oh,
and then
okay.
this is like around like a 22-ish.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say around there is kind of where I would place it. Yeah, I have to like work on making my sizing chart more understandable.
Oh.
Yeah, because I'm like, I don't understand that.
Yeah, especially online, like it's hard.
Oh,
to really,
yeah.
you know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah. Here,
So
hold
that's
on.
why I wanted to do the shoot like that too, so that I can have pictures of the girls, so that people can say, "Oh, my body looks like that. Okay, let me buy that size."
Oh. So you're releasing so maybe to like June the 14th, like people can see what you have available
Online. Yeah, exactly.
right. Okay.
Yes.
I've pretty much asked everything that I wanted to know, and so like to share with others out there that are listening or tuning in. Is there something that you'd like to speak on or share that we haven't spoke on?
While I just have a platform of people from all around the world, I would just love to say that if you are planning on visiting here in Hawaii, then please just do your homework before you come, because it's, you know, I always say, like, it's not our responsibility as Indigenous people to educate colonizers and settlers on the history of the space. And I know that sounds mean sometimes and like kind of pointed, but you know, sometimes for us to rehash the trauma of the things that have happened in our history is a lot for us to have to do over and over and over again to people that don't even really care sometimes. So what I love to say is, like, do your homework. Do you go put in the time. If you want to visit a space, you should be putting in the time to see, like, what is the history of this place? How can I be a respectful visitor? How can I you know, donate to Hawaiian nonprofits that are helping their communities? All those kinds of things are things that I always recommend to people that message me and say, hey, I really want to come to Hawaii. I'm very respectful, but you know, how can I make that happen?
And what are some fun things to do? Okay, when we normally travel, we like to do more like, we don't like to do the tourist stuff.
Yeah.
If we're gonna go somewhere different, like, show me how, like, fun things or what people do around here, or anything culture related, and what's something that people can do if they go visit there, or maybe like a small business that is owned from Indigenous people there.
Yeah. Okay. So honestly, I spend a lot of my time up in the mountains, whether it be hiking or whether it be just being by myself with all the plants, or going four-wheeling. We love to go four-wheeling over here. I would say there's a lot of amazing spaces and places. Like Hanauma Bay is a good place that gives a lot of tourism education before. So like before you can even touch the water, they make you go and watch a video about how to treat the reef and how to, you know, treat the native species that are there. So I think that's a great place for tourists to visit. Also,
what is it called again?
Hanauma Bay. I know.
Can you spell it, please?
I'll type it for you.
Oh, okay.
No.
Like, I'm pretty good at, like, okay, let me try to write it out, but I know there's some silent letters in there, or I don't want to write it wrong either.
Got you right there. Where else? I would also say Kualoa is a really great space. I think my friend Keliko is on here, and she used to work there, and her ohana works there and stuff. So Keliko, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Kualoa is a great space for people that are visiting here to visit, because they can go on a safe, controlled time up in the mountains. They have like ATVs, they have all kinds of tours, they have horseback riding. They have, like, even I take my daughter there all the time because they have a free little petting zoo. So during COVID, that was, it's super exciting. During COVID, that was like something that we would do all the time, just to get out of the house but not go be bombarded by tourists and stuff like that. What else? And I'm like, really just our beaches, like any of our beaches, as long as people are conducting themselves with respect and not littering and stuff, then our beaches are great spaces for people to go to. Yeah.
That's cool. Good. Okay. I feel like I had something that I was going to ask her.
How much deer you got there?
What was that?
Yeah, you have deer?
Well, on Oʻahu, the island I live on, not really. People mostly... No. Oʻahu, it's really hard for people to hunt at all, because like the pigs even are super small. Everywhere is built upon. There's hardly anywhere that has anything worth catching. But on Hawaii Island, the Big Island, as they call it, or not Niihau, Molokaʻi, the deer
over there,
are so big. People love to go hunt for deer. Yeah.
Let me look at some of the comments. I know I've been like slacking on looking at them or what people have been writing. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to write them down here. I should have mentioned that earlier, but thank you all of you guys for tuning in. Let me see. We got hearts. Oh my God, Gil. Chihi, aloha, aloha. Oh my God, my friend on here, he's just messing around.
Said Yendi works on TikTok.
Chiha, Tita.
That's her full-time job.
Yeah, to watch.
Maybe you could chime in on this. Somebody wrote in Hawaii. Can you read that for me?
Oh, let me go scroll up. Let me look.
Somebody, it was I know I'm gonna say this wrong. Pico Hinano wrote in something, but I don't know what it says.
Wahinekoa. So he just was saying, yay, just like resounding my family name and celebrating it. Mahalo, Pico Hinano. I know that at the bottom he just asked, what is your goal for Moon Kine Tingz in the future? That is a great question.
Ooh, yes.
Part of me wants to do a storefront for, so my dream is to have like a community hub where basically it's like a space where you can we'll have only Kanaka creators that will stock their things, and in the back my dad will be cooking like beef stew and stuff like that, and my mom will have like a kid reading corner where we read Hawaiian books, and you know, like a community space that everybody can come, and if you're hungry you just come and you just come eat. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm envisioning for a future of Moon Kine Tingz, is like really just more community based spaces and like workshops and all of that kind of stuff. Aloha nui, mahalo for joining. Need them more. Yeah, I know. I'm super excited for that. Mahalo everybody for all your cool comments. Ooh, somebody said on all islands, please. Yeah, my dream one day is to move. Oh, yes. Sorry. Okay, so my dream one day is to move to Hawaii Island and to move my whole family there and to, back, because I lived in Hilo for about 7 years. So my dream is to move back and have a storefront there, and then also operate on Oʻahu. Have you ever experienced artist burnout, and how do you overcome that? I experience artist burnout every other day. Being a single mommy and being an artist, it's like they're both very giving roles, and like you have to just give and pour a lot out of your cup. So I have to spend a lot of time pouring back into my cup, which is me being in the mountains. Literally, I just have to go by myself and hang out and like soak up all the plant juices and all the sun, like, and just be. Yeah, that's a great question. Totally just, and also doing things like this literally like rekindle that fire inside of me. Remind me, that this is bigger than me, bigger than my family, bigger than our community. It's Indigenous people across the world are feeling and are awakening and are rising. Totally.
What I tend to do too, just get out of the house, or even just go take the kids out, do something, even if it's something small, or have them play with water in the front. But I try not to like be on my phone when I'm with them, and that way I get a break from that, but I also get that good energy from them, or just have fun and play. And so I do it for them as well too, so I also need to give them my attention.
Yes, exactly. Oh my goodness. Hi.
We are here. Oh, he knows? Okay, there's something else. Can you read something else for me on there? By Littlefoot?
They said, super happy for this meeting of us. So like,
that's our friend. I didn't know if you know that.
Yeah, happy to see us doing this. Yeah, seriously, I think this is such a cool platform that you guys do. I was really inspired by this, and I even messaged my other Hawaiian creator friend, and I was like, hey, can you come on my podcast?
Yeah,
Cool.
And it's different content for you too, different conversations you get.
You're going to town on the water.
Yeah, just different conversations you can have, different point of views on there. Yeah, that should be fun, and that's good that she can get on there, support you as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, this is something that we wanted to do, to share with everybody, so we can anybody that's out there listening, they can learn about other cultures, but maybe they're Hawaiian or Mexican, Guatemalan, or native from here, that they can learn something of their culture that they didn't know, or are maybe afraid to ask, or they don't know where to start from either.
Yeah.
Or teachers that are out there that maybe want to learn or understand the culture, so then teach the kids or understand, like, I don't know, just something, like it's a little bit for everybody out there.
Yeah, totally. And it sparks something different in everybody is what I'm learning. Like, 20 different people will listen to this and it'll spark something different. Something different will hit each and every one of them. So thank you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Of course. Thank you for coming on. It's been fun. Thank you for teaching us things as well. Like, I didn't know, made me look at a map and I didn't know, but I've been learning a lot, and I hope those out there that are listening, watching, you've learned and will intake a little bit from this. If you go to Hawaii, like she said, try to learn about it. If you're going to go, respect the land, clean up after yourself.
Eat the spam.
Support the local indigenous, native people out there, support their business.
Don't be bugging.
That's another thing, really quickly. There's a lot of businesses that love to like put Hawaiian words in their name, or they love to almost like project the image that they are Hawaiian just because they are local raised and have been here their whole life. But to me, I think that's really misleading, and I think that when you are supporting different Hawaiian creators, just to like make sure that they are who they say they are, because a lot of the times it's like really a romanticized picture of Hawaii, and everybody wants to like have that exotic Hawaiian language in their business names. But to me, it's like, if you're not normalizing the language and creating awareness around why our language is endangered, then you shouldn't be using it in your name just because it sounds pretty. You know what I mean? So yeah, just being aware of the kind of creators that you're supporting is, in today's day and age, is super important. Yeah.
Do you recommend any restaurants that you have that you know of that are?
The first one that comes to my mind is the deli. It's at Heiakea Pier in Kaneohe.
Over my head.
I know, right?
Slow down.
Just remember the deli.
The deli. Okay.
So the deli, they have a lot of fresh caught fish. They have a lot of fresh caught fish, because it's at a pier. So they get their fish right from that bait a lot of the times, and they have a lot of really good recipes that they do with the fish. It is Hawaiian owned and operated, so it's a great place to go and spend your money, definitely.
Ooh, okay. Whenever we go, I've always wanted to go there. That's where I'm gonna go for sure.
Please let me know if you guys ever come. I would love to show you some really cool spaces and places. Definitely.
Oh yes, that would be cool. We would love that.
Going to Maui too to go get some deer.
Oh yeah.
We've had
if you come, it's like you might as well go to the different islands. You know what I mean? Like,
the 8 that I didn't know were there. We had oh my god, what's his name again? I always forget.
Richmond.
Branskin Richmond.
Branskin Richmond. What a name.
Okay, he lives in Maui. He's an actor as well. He came. They just made a movie that came out. Oh my god, why am I forgetting all this? Finding Ohana. Did you see it?
I saw that movie. I liked it. I know there was a lot of feedback from Hawaiian communities saying like it wasn't accurate and this and that, but to me, as far as these mainstream movies go, that was pretty good. Like, that was pretty good, I thought.
Yeah, he played the dad, the grandpa.
No, the grandpa.
Oh,
We had
yeah,
him.
yeah, yeah. I enjoyed that movie. I thought it was entertaining. It was, you know, they had just enough of like of history and culture that I was like, okay, this one is okay.
Yeah, I know. I liked it too. So he was, yeah. So he lives in Maui, but
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go collect some deer.
Come on up.
Give him a couple horses too.
Yeah, Maui's a beautiful place.
Let me see. Can you get us on the Forbidden Island?
Are you talking about?
Somebody commented on there. Can you get us on the Forbidden Island? Question mark.
We're talking about Kaho'olawe. I just was thinking about Kaho'olawe. So we have an island that you can't go onto because the U.S. military has bombed it and completely messed it up. There is no water they broke the water table, so no water can ever flow on that island again. It's nobody can even step foot on there because of all of the ordinance. I mean, people do go and they do cleanups and stuff like that, but because of all of the unexploded ordinances that are in that area, it's you know, it's not very safe sometimes for other people that do go for ceremonial and religious purposes. Yeah, that's
so the answer is yes.
Yeah, right. I'm like, yes, but as long as you don't mind possibly being blown up. It's so crazy that that's even a part of our history. I was just thinking about that.
Wow. Yeah. Well, okay. Let me try this again.
You got it.
Wahinekoa. Wahinekoa. Thank you for being on here with us. We're going to be wrapping it up. We've pretty much touched on everything. I feel it was a good conversation with you. Thank you for educating us on a lot of things maybe we didn't know. People out there as well. But all of you guys, she does have a website. She's selling her bathing suits in a couple of weeks. June the 14th, she'll have listed what she has available after she goes to a market. Visit her website. It's MONN, then Kine, KINE, TINGZ.
Yes.
Can you pronounce that for me?
Moon Kine Tings.
Moon Kine Tinghz. She has t-shirts, tote bags, stickers. She's coming out with her bathing suit line, and it's all with her culture on there. She has her language on there as well. So please go support her. I love what you're doing. I love how you're including your culture on there as well, empowering the women.
Real indigenous business.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, reach out to her if you guys have any questions. Make sure you check her out. If you guys have any other questions as well outside of that, make sure to reach out to us, or you can reach out to her as well. She has a podcast. Make sure you check her out. Please, please, please support. Yeah. Did you guys have any last words before we close this out?
I just really wanted to thank you guys again for not just this platform and for starting this to connect Indigenous people, but for like digging into your own cultures, raising babies that are raised in your own cultures. Like, it is seriously such a beautiful thing to see and like you said, our generation, we're the ones that are doing it, and it's so like, I'm getting chicken skin again because it's just like really just lights me on fire to know that one, I'm not alone, and that two, like, it's literally happening around the world, that people are saying, hey, enough is enough. We all need to get connected together, and we need to rise up and take all of the things that we need back. You know what I mean? So just thank you guys for being who you are and for your energy. I really appreciate it.
You're very welcome. If you ever have any questions about anything or need help with something, please reach out to us. Like, I love your energy, love your vibe.
My needle's on backwards, I'll let you know.
If you have a problem with your sewing machine, let me know. Like, hey, what do I do? Or this and that. I mean, I have some years on me, but at the same time, like, I may mess something up. But if I can help, let me know.
Thank you.
And wherever we go to Hawaii, I'll make sure to hit you up.
Oh, we'll make it happen. We can get the kids together. How old are your babies?
I have a 3-year-old, and then we have an 8-month-old.
Perfect. My daughter is 2.5. So yeah, totally. Please let me know when you guys make it out here.
We got to go to Hawaii.
Right?
ASAP.
Now we have to.
Hold it.
Okay.
Okay, just close it out.
Thank
Alright.
you.
Nice meeting you. Nice talking to you. Stay
Thank you so much.
strong.
Bye, baby.
Bye.
See you soon.
All right, guys. Hope you liked it. We're out after this busy day today. Thanks for joining us. Bye.
Bye, Grandpa.